Okay, well, there it is. MTX experiments. Wait, can I go back? Is that a thing? No. Anyway, I don't know how this entire interface works. If I'm gonna be honest, I usually just click join world 88 and then I do whatever. What the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, I was checking. Okay, there we go. Oh wow, there's even a pop-up for it. You can tell that I haven't logged in, by the way. So here we go. As part of our ongoing investigation into how monetization is implemented within Runescape, we are running a series of experiments. In the current experiment, Treasure Hunter is disabled and a selection of direct purchase items can be found at the marketplace. Here's the date. We wait for your feedback, and then a thing to use. This is really good. I like that this is a pop-up. This makes everyone aware of it. That logs in. Now, let's go to the marketplace. I never know how to open it, so I just go to Options. The Option store is permanently due to an ongoing experiment. Oh. Do you then do it via this? You can tell I don't buy shit in this game, by the way, because I don't even know how to access this stuff. Okay, well, these are the prices. You have the large prismatic star pack, the biggest one, 25, for $15.99. And then you have the small knowledge bombs, which, if I'm correct in saying, they give an hour of double experience, or 50% experience, actually, for, well, $20. So that's 10 for 20, so that's two a pop. Which you can really tell that you're better off just buying the biggest thing if you are interested. And as far as I know, yeah, you can only buy it once per 24 hours. And I don't know, I'm not going to buy it, but I don't know if it will actually backlog track. I will say that in the commentary once I go to the commentary booth. Not that I do have a commentary booth, but yeah, interesting. Let me figure out what these small knowledge bombs actually do. Yeah, so it grants 50% extra experience. So it's like 1.5 double XP, or, well, not double XP, but 1.5 experience. And then obviously a bonus star gives you 100% extra experience. And if you stack that, you can get 150% extra experience for skilling. Now, what does that mean for the game? Let's woodcut and go to the commentary booth. Not that I have one, it's the same location as I'm sitting right now, but it just sounds cool. Over at the commentary booth now. Yeah, it wasn't funny the first time, it's not funny now. Anyway, what do I think of this experiment? Of course, I'm a big fan of Treasure Hunter gambling being disabled and hopefully one day removed, as I don't want to see monetary gambling in my 2001 medieval point-and-click video game, because let's be honest, going to a boss in a way is gambling as well for loot, but at least you're gambling time and not actual money. But hey, the main issue of the gambling aspect with Treasure Hunter obviously lays within the addiction part for the individual participating in it, which is something you can have varying opinions about, as many people actually see it as someone's personal problem, yet at the same time, let's be honest here, it's never a good thing when a platform like Runescape, or in this case a video game like Runescape, facilitates it. However, in this video, I want to focus on the experiment itself, but if you guys are interested in a deeper analysis of Treasure Hunter, gambling, etc., let me know in the comment section down below and I will get to it. Whilst you're at it, leave a like and subscribe as well. We're still trying to get to 10k subscribers by the end of 2025, and we're getting very, very close. Also, sorry for the lack of uploads. I am hard at work at the Trim Completion Escape series, which should be premiering in early August, so I don't really have editing time for other types of videos, besides news videos and things that kind of have to be made. And well, there isn't much new stuff in RuneScape at the moment. Like, literally the last update that was noticeable, besides the beach, but let's be honest, it's the beach, it's the same thing every single year, and I don't see it as an actual update, was 110 crafting, and that's nearly a month ago. But hey, new quest next week, so let's get to it. So is this experiment the solution? Well, I feel like it is a two-parted discussion. First of all, this is miles better than having to gamble for whatever you want, and being able to buy bonus experience and knowledge bombs is a lot more healthy for the game than simply buying lamps, as they defeat the purpose of actually interacting with the game altogether. Lamps, that is. With these items on the marketplace, at least you need to play RuneScape instead of logging in, using lamps, and logging out. And out of everything on the Treasure Hunter drop table, bar maybe the D&D tokens and obviously the cosmetics, stars are by far the least offensive items on there. Both lamps, and to an even more extreme extent proteins, have a way bigger impact on the overall game, which is something people who say, oh, but Treasure Hunter doesn't affect me, or I play an Iron Man, so Treasure Hunter doesn't affect me, don't like to hear. I will go into more detail once we have the protein removal experiment next double experience, but pretty much lamps and proteins have an effect on the balancing of the game. This is because no method can exceed lamp/protein experience rates, because then people don't want to buy them as much if they can actually play the game. So Jagex is kind of forced to quote-unquote balance around these. And not to mention, most people use proteins over actual skilling supplies, making those skilling supplies less desirable as well, so you can make less profit doing something like woodcutting, because everyone's using protein logs to train their fire making instead of actual logs. So yes, that does affect your experience as a player, even if you don't interact with Treasure Hunter at all. And yes, even as an Ironman, mainly about the balancing around experience rates. The same argument could be applied to stars/bombs to a lesser extent as well, but the difference here is that you actually have to interact with the core skilling and gameplay instead of either lamping or using specific untradeable items like proteins, which obviously, the latter, at this current point, you can actually still use. Yet I'd like to see them removed altogether if that wasn't clear. The other side of the coin, and the second way of looking at this argument, is that having money still will give you an advantage over other players, which isn't the biggest of deals in a game where you're mainly focused on solo progression and where, quite frankly, things take a lot of time to achieve, and as adults, time gets more limited. So it makes sense you spend a little money to keep up. However, if we're honest with ourselves here, I do still think that it kind of sucks that if you spend money, you can have an advantage over other people. Because it's simply more rewarding, like factually more rewarding, to get everything yourself, and knowing others can do it faster because they have the money and you don't, does kind of suck. Oh well, it's not perfect, but it's passable. And I think that is where this experiment lays. In an ideal world, well, realistic ideal world, as in ideal world, I'd have no MTX at all, but obviously I do understand that to keep the game alive, it is needed to an extent. So in that realistic ideal world, I'd like to just see cosmetics being a form of MTX and nothing else. But if anything would be added to this, due to it being needed to keep the game up and running, I'd be okay with stars and bombs, as these still require people to interact with the core gameplay loop. Sure, they go through it twice as quick, but at least they don't skip it altogether because they just use lamps or proteins and not interacted with actual skilling supplies and methods. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and my name's Chevalric. See you guys in my next video.